In this episode, I am going to share with you what exactly shows that a woman has class. First and foremost, what does it mean to have class? Being classy means being refined, in my opinion. It's about being ritzy. It's about being well-mannered, having refined, high-quality manners. It is about being stylish. It's about having poise and a silent confidence. I'll give a few examples of women who, in my opinion, I think are very classy. Think about Lori Harvey. Think about Sabrina Elba. And my favorite, Amal Clooney. These are some of the few women who I really think exude such class, refinement, and elegance. So I took my time and I wrote a few notes with me, as well as a few points, just to show you or to explain to you what shows that a woman has class. So follow me throughout this episode, and don't mind me if I keep on looking on my phone when I'm stating the points. So the first point, or rather to begin with, what shows a woman has true class? You are mindful of your words and you think before you spew your utterances. Women who have class don't go about having what other people call babbling diarrhea. They are so thoughtful of their words. They think twice before they talk. They know the impact and the repercussions that their words carry. Secondly, you respect and have high regard for everyone despite their social status. You are not snobbish, and you don't look down on others, whether they are of upper class or low class. You hold everyone on a high regard, whether they are a CEO, whether they are just a normal, regular employee. You absolutely hold everyone in high regard and show respect, not only to yourself, but to everyone. Thirdly, you are often well-groomed. I can't emphasize enough on how important being well-groomed is when it comes to being a classy woman. You often take care of your hair, your nails, teeth, skin, ears, yes, I mentioned ears, etc. Just to emphasize a little bit when it comes to your ears, do you know there's numerous people who actually thoroughly take care of their bodies and wash their skins perfectly, but they always ignore their ears. You'll always notice when you're talking to certain people or when you walk past certain people, they have a lot of wax on their ears, and some just around their ear, it seems untidy and all that. So having perfect grooming shows that you have class as a woman. The next point, you often smell delectable. You often smell delectable, whether you're staying indoors or are going outside, whether you are in bed or are just engaging in other stuff. So women who are genuinely classy are mindful of how they smell. I understand there are women who have allergic reactions to perfumes, and when it comes to that, I think it's very essential for you to have maximum hygiene And yeah, our body naturally has its natural smell. So your body should not ooze like a distasteful smell, or maybe a smell that people can't withstand. So you should try in such a scenario to exercise maximum hygiene. And maybe if you're a person who showers once in a day, you can try shower thrice or even twice in a day. And just use great body lotions, high quality body lotions, and these will essentially perfect your smell. On to the next point. You have admirable and polished manners. I mean, what is the meaning of having class? Being well dressed, being perfectly dressed, being the most stylish, the most fashionable woman in the room, but your manners are just gross. So, classy women genuinely have good manners. They know when to say please, they know when to say may I, they know when to say thank you. They are polite, and they know when to say sorry whenever they are at fault. My next point, you have firm standards and are aware of your worth. Generally, classy women have high standards and they know their worth. They will not mingle around with people who don't respect and appreciate their standards, and they know when to say no, and they understand that the word no is a complete sentence, and they are never afraid to use it. They have high standards and high respect for themselves, and they know their value and their worth. Point 6, if I'm not wrong, you are healthy. You are mentally, emotionally, and physically healthy. Additionally, you are spiritually healthy. By the way, guys, let me tell you something funny that happened to me. I actually carried my microphone for this episode, only to come and realize that the microphone was unfunctional. So, wow, sometimes things happen and life has to go on, and we have to keep on doing what we are doing. So that's it. So the next point, a great sign that shows that a woman has genuine class, you have an effortlessly impeccable style sense. Have you ever just looked at someone and are like, wow, do they ever look bad in any day? Their style is effortlessly magnificent. And when you just stare at them, they just look refined, they look polished, they look well groomed, and the quality of their outfits is always outstanding. They are very picky with the outfits that they wear. So generally classy women actually have an impeccable sense of style. To continue with, you are clean and are mindful of your personal hygiene. I cannot stress this enough. One's personal hygiene goes a long way when it comes to matters of class and elegance. You just can't be untidy and careless and reckless when you want to be genuinely considered a woman of class. The other thing, you are kind and humane. You always extend a hand of help and grace to the needy whenever you have the capacity to. You engage in charitable events. You are highly philanthropic, and especially when you have a very high net worth and have a considerable amount of money and are Actually, when it comes to helping the needy or any other people, it comes from the heart, and not from a place of being coerced. Generally, classy people are compassionate, they are kind, they are helpful in the society, and they also engage in voluntary works. When it comes to helping the needy, they don't think twice because they have a sense of compassion and humanity. Another thing that shows that a woman has genuine class: you are sensitive. In fact, you are highly sensitive when it comes to matters of time management and punctuality. For instance, you're going for an interview, and your interviewer has told you that you have to arrive at the venue of the interview, let's say at 6 a.m. A classy woman will be conscious of her time keeping skills or time management, and will try as much as possible to arrive at that venue of interview at least an hour or an hour and a half earlier. Another example, maybe you have been invited, you are a guest and you've been invited by your host for a house party or just maybe some cocktail party or any other event whatsoever. And obviously, in such a scenario, you won't arrive exactly on time, but you'll try not to keep your host waiting for very long, because if you do this, it doesn't show, or rather portray, a very good sign, and in the long run you may not be considered classy when you keep people waiting for so long. So generally, classy people, classy women, they have great time management skills, they respect other people's time, and in addition to that, they are mindful of their own time and they respect time in general. The next point, you are emotionally intelligent. This is very important when it comes to being considered a woman of class. Remember, we said it's not just about being class, is not just about outward appearance, but also inward, what you heart. It's also about matters of the heart and quality of manners. So being emotionally intelligent, in other words, this is what people call emotional quotient. It is the ability to manage both your emotions and understand your emotions, as well as understand the emotion of others and be able to understand why they are behaving the way they are and where they are coming from, and essentially be able to have a solution to what may be bringing conflict at that very moment. I will repeat, to be precise, emotional quotient is about being able to understand and analyze your emotions, as well as understand other people's emotions and understand where they are coming from without necessarily judging them. Just to navigate a little bit about that point of emotional intelligence, you have understanding and management of your own emotions. You do not participate in gossips. No, I'm sorry, that was another point. You are open-minded and are non-judgmental. And essentially, you're able to navigate people's emotions. Don't forget, I'm talking about emotional intelligence when it comes to being considered classy. So, let's say, for instance, you are the kind of person who always have emotional outbursts. Maybe you need to seek therapy, or just need to figure out a way, or maybe you have anger management. You need to figure out a way in which you can help yourself, because in this life, people will annoy you, people will be impatient with you on and on again. So you need to have high emotional intelligence to know how to go about dealing with people on a daily basis. It's actually a very important life skill, other than just a part of being considered someone as a woman who has class. My next point: people who are genuinely classy do not participate in gossip, they do not participate in drama, and they are never nosy when it comes to other people's affairs. Have you ever encountered this type of people who are always like, their life is just about drama, left, right, and center? Like, one minute they've done something weirdly insane. The other minute they've done something ridiculous, something that just affects people negatively. They are always using abusive words, and they are always gossiping people, and they are always talking about other people's lives and other people's affairs, and it's just insane. So people who are genuinely classy, no matter how well dressed you are, you also need to work on your emotional baggage and internal stuff. And it's very important not to be too nosy when it comes to other people's affairs, and it's important to avoid drama as much as you can. So, lovely people, that is it for today. Thank you so much for staying in tune. I do not take it for granted. I hope you have learned from this episode. And if you think there's something probably that you work on, don't be too hard on yourself. Extend grace to yourself and understand that life is always a journey. Personally, I was not born a classy woman. I needed, and I had, and I'm still working on a number of things. So make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, share, like, and comment. Stay blessed.